Well, thank you for the invitation to speak today. I'm sorry I have to speak in English and I can't speak in French. And you'll be glad I haven't got my England football shirt on. That's really too embarrassing. So instead, I'm going to talk about my business, or the business I'm responsible for, which is called Trelleborg Marine Systems. I'm going to talk about how we've transformed or are transforming our business from being kind of a simple product supplier to a business now that's trying to supply digital and data solutions to customers to improve the efficiency of their operations, to improve the safety, to improve sustainability of their operations, kind of accelerating their business performance. So I'm going to split the story into two parts. One is how we have been using digital marketing to move the positioning of our business and how people see our business in the marketplace. And then the second part is how we're now developing that further and going into providing digital products, solutions and services that kind of complement what we're doing. And hopefully I'll be able to show you some real business results that we've seen over the last 4 or 5 years. So just a quick introduction. My business is called Trelleborg. We're part of a large Swedish industrial group called Trelleborg. Trelleborg has about 20,000 people and sales of about 3 billion euros. I'm based in Dubai. The headquarters of my business is in Dubai. We have sales of 140, 150 million euros. Depends on the exchange rate. It changes quite a lot at the moment. So we have about 400 people. We have locations all around the world, and this is quite important for us. We're in places where we're involved in the shipping industry and shipping locations all around the world. We have offices to support the industry. And we're involved in very traditional, quite heavy engineering. We make products which help ships to come into a harbour, to berth onto the harbour or into the port and unload and load goods in the most efficient way. So it's a very traditional, heavy engineering company in a very, very conservative industry. Things haven't really changed much for 10, 20, 30 years. Before we start the kind of digital story or the marketing story, I just wanted to talk about how we kind of integrate our marketing strategy and our business strategy in together. And to be honest, they become one. So our marketing strategy drives our business strategy drives our marketing strategy. And everything we do, whether it's to do with directly marketing or all the way down to R&D and what products we develop, is driven by these three things: of brand reputation, how to create demand, and then how to sell. How do we sell the products that we want to sell, that we want to make? So the first part of the story is really our marketing journey, and this is really about how we've turned our business and repositioned our business using the latest kind of marketing technologies and tools that are around. It's helped us to understand what our customers want. It's helped us to follow our customers on their buying journey. So understanding their buying journey has been very important to us. And it's helped us to focus on only the most attractive customers. So we're focusing our sales resources on the people who want to buy our equipment. Hopefully by the end of this section, you'll be able to see some positive impacts from what we've been doing. This is kind of an overview of the journey. We started back in 2009 where we didn't really do any marketing. Our marketing was making nice brochures and going to trade shows, but there was no message, there was no strategy. At that time, our products were kind of commoditized, simple products. Our salespeople could really only sell the products based on price. They had no levers, nothing interesting to go to the customer with and say, this is worth paying an extra percentage for. It was all about price, and the cheapest price won. So in 2010, we really started to think first of all about marketing and building an integrated marketing strategy. And for me, this was the most important part of the whole journey. Was we spent a long time and a lot of effort doing analysis, segmentation of our customers, understanding what our customers wanted, and mapping out, most importantly, mapping out the buying journey. And in our business, we have several types of customers, and it was very important that we understood all these buying journeys because they all act at the same time. We had to understand how they work together. So by 2011, we were starting to use Google Display, pay-per-click, email marketing. 2012, we moved into social media, again, supporting all the messages that we were using as well. And really, this brings another point in to use all these tools, you really need to have high-quality content and collateral and assets. And so when we're developing a marketing campaign, it's always supported by something that's got to be very useful and very interesting to engage with the customers, wherever they are in that journey. 2013, we were really in business to business anyway, and certainly in our kind of markets, we were one of the first businesses to adopt or to start to use marketing automation. In our case, we use Eloqua. And this was really allowed us to move on from the traditional sales funnel into using a much more sophisticated way of looking for high-quality leads, nurturing people through the funnel, so understanding that certain people were ready to buy, other people weren't ready to buy, but understanding how to move these people through the sales funnel. By 2015, we kind of have this very nicely integrated marketing strategy, and with new websites that support all this, and so we're generating now quite good volumes of sales leads that people are now starting to action and turn into real business. So we're starting now to think about how do we take digital into the next phase, and this will be the next part of the journey. But one of the things you'll see is that along the journey, we've changed our positioning, we've changed our messages to suit the different place we are in terms of developing and transforming the business. So when we started out, it was very much about turning from just products into solutions, and by the end of the journey, we're starting to think about performance and digital and connectivity and this type of thing. So very important that the message has moved along in harmony, in process with the business strategy. We've done that through thought leadership, so how we repositioned the business. So we've really tried to reposition and focus on only the premium part of our business. So in our industry, there are lots of different parts, a very wide-ranging segment. But really, we made a decision that we only wanted to focus on the premium segment. We're only interested in that part. We leave the low-end niches behind. And to do this, we've developed thought leadership. We've done that with high-quality assets, with R&D of products and product development that we've been able to take to customers. And we've delivered it using the latest digital techniques, integrating it with CRM and generating sales leads. And we won a prize this week. Stefan was there to collect. And how have we done this? So this is kind of a diagram, a very complicated diagram, which shows our integrated digital strategy. And so at the start, at the center of this, you have or at the side, you have our website, and that's the core of what we're trying to do. And around the edge, we have all our online channels, so pay-per-click, display, PR, social. And then we have the web platform. So we're trying to direct everybody towards our web platform and engage with us on our website, and provide us with their contact and lead information. We have social integration, so we use social to promote the content that we're running campaigns on. So again, we're directing more people into the website. And then we have this sales integration. So we're using Eloqua to lead score people, our leads. So when people are arriving on the website and they're engaging with us and they're downloading our collateral, we're lead scoring them against their level of engagement and their fit to our buyer profile. And then we're integrating that with the sales, and that's something I'll talk about on the next slide, because that's really the important part for us, and the tricky part for us is we're coming from an industry where we've got a sales team which is used to receiving inquiries directly from the customer, and now all of a sudden we're providing them with sales leads from a marketing campaign. And so this is a very different approach for the sales team to understand. For me, it's very similar to cold calling, where we're asking salespeople who are used to sitting at the desk now to go out and talk to customers they don't really know. So we've spent a lot of time on this sales and marketing integration, and tried to explain to the sales team how the market is changing and how the industry is changing. But this is the big challenge: is how do you interface the automated part of marketing with the real people part of marketing and selling. So we've done this, and we've created we create lots of information now and lots of data, and this is probably the biggest step forward. Forget the numbers, the fact that we have numbers. If you think back to what I said 5 years ago, we didn't have any numbers, we didn't have any data, we didn't have any way to judge whether we were being successful when we did our marketing. So now we have lots of data and lots of information, and we can see more people to the website, we can see more marketing qualified leads, we can see lots of engagement with our collateral, 17,000 downloads, 500 web registrations. So we know who's in the funnel, we know where they are in the buying cycle, and we can give good qualified leads to our salespeople, so they're spending their time only following up on real sales leads, not chasing around people who might have looked at our website once or twice. For a salesperson to now have a sales lead, they have to be a good fit, so that means they're one of our identified buying profiles, so they have a project that they want and they're in a position to buy something, and that they've been engaged with us over a defined period of time. They've looked at our website, they've downloaded something, they've done various things. So those marketing qualified leads are really high quality leads. And so things that we're looking at now, so we've done lots of things. What we're looking at now to push further forward is we're looking to use web personalization. So we're just launching a pilot study now to personalize our website based on who's coming to the website or how many times they've been, and serving them with different information that's relevant to what they want to see. We're linking now our CRM system with our ERP system and with marketing automation. So this will allow us to have a full automatic view of the sales funnel from prospects all the way through to customers. And so we can really start to see now the benefit of what we're doing, and how well we're putting people through the sales funnel and generating revenue from that. And then we're looking at investigating things like predictive analytics, where we're able to see people that aren't looking at our website but fit a certain buying profile. We're able to perhaps identify them and bring those into the sales process. So that's all very nice in terms of marketing KPIs, but what does it mean for our business? Well, in this period of time, we've seen the business grow from 75 million euros to more than 100 million, 120, 130 million euros, and we've seen, so that's a 30-40% increase in sales. Most importantly, of course, is that we've seen our profitability increase by 3 or 4 times. And of course, not all of this is down to digital marketing, but it's helped to drive the sales process, and it's given the repositioning of our business has given the salespeople this ability now to value sell. So now it's not all about price. They go to a customer and they can sell based on whether our product is the best, it lasts the longest, it needs the least maintenance, all kinds of things that we've got that are backed up and being delivered to people in a very strong way. So that's kind of the first part of the story, and now we're in a place in the kind of last part of the graph there, where we're looking to try and offer more. We're looking to offer a kind of complete solutions that really help our customers improve their business. So really, it's a big change of mindset from going from some supplying a product. Customer says, "I want to buy this product." We're now going to the customer. We now want to go to the customer and say, we can help you improve the efficiency of your operations by doing this or selling you this. And so that's the next phase that we're entering now. Our business is the port and maritime business, and this is an industry which, as I mentioned at the start, is a very traditional business. It's a very conservative business. It doesn't like to change. In actual fact, it's in a huge transformation. Globalization of the economy of the world means that shipping is becoming more and more focused on bigger ships. So the ships that transport goods now from China to Europe, they now carry 20,000 containers, whereas 5 years ago they perhaps carried 10,000 containers. So the ships are doubling and tripling in size. So that means that the ports that they come into have to be bigger. They're working now, shipping companies, to get better economies of scale because they need to have this super efficiency. To get the better economies of scale, they're forming alliances, so they're working with other shipping companies to pool resources and to make things more efficient from an operational point of view. And therefore capacity is consolidating. So it's an industry that's going through a very big transformation. So at the same time, we're trying to look at where we fit and what's our aspiration in this business now. So where does our brand fit? How do we fit with our kind of digital maturity? Where can we legitimately say that we're a digital business? And how do we build a competitive advantage from what's going on? So we know already we have this complete kind of portfolio of products to help ships come into a port, that go on the ship or go on the port or the jetty, that really help to control this berthing, mooring operation. We also know there's a huge opportunity to increase the efficiency of ports. So an interesting statistic that we learned recently was that almost 50% of ships are more than 8 hours late when they arrive in a port. So there's huge amounts of effort going on into automating port operations, looking at when the ship has arrived in the port, how fast can we unload it and how fast can we load it again. But that's based on the fact that the ship's arrived. Nobody is really thinking about the fact that the ship is 8 hours late in the first place. So there's a big opportunity, we think, to improve this efficiency. And we think we can do that by applying digital technology. So we already have lots of products, and we have these products already collect data. They're already using data for doing things in isolation, but we think by linking these things together and using them in a clever way, we can start to provide services and added value to our customer in a really good way. And so we kind of developed this, what we call Port of the Future concept. So we did an exercise 6 months ago now, 5-6 months ago now, where we had a workshop and we looked at all our products and we decided, or we were asked ourselves, what information, what data are we already collecting? And just from a 1 hour kind of brainstorming session, you can see all these different things all these different pieces of data that we're collecting already, but we just collect it. We don't do anything with it today. So now we're starting to think about how do we collect this data and what do we do with the data to help our customers with their operations. So what we can see that there's a huge opportunity to use this data and to make our products smarter, but also to use the data in a smarter way. And so we can already start to identify these features that improve the efficiency. So how do we make our customers' operations faster? How do we improve safety? So perhaps we can take the human element out of what they're doing to improve the safety element. Or how do we improve sustainability? Sustainability for ports is a huge issue. So how do they use less fuel? How do they reduce their emissions from ships or from ports? So we have products and we have data and we have ideas of what to do with the data, but there's some big changes that we need to think about from the business internally as well. So how do we go from being a product supplier to somebody who supplies integrated solutions? We need to develop consultancy selling skills. So at the moment we have a product, we have a brochure or a catalogue, and somebody goes to the customer and tries to sell from that product. But in the future, what we'll need to have is consultants. We need to go to the customer and say, what's your issues? How can we help you? How can we improve your performance? How do we improve your efficiency? That's quite a big change for the business. And we need to continue to make our products smarter. And we're a mechanical engineering company. We're not a data engineering company, and we're not an electronics company. And so this need the need to improve or to make the product smarter is going to require some new skills in terms of sensors and data collection and this type of thing. So once we've tackled all those problems, then we've got this issue of how do we manage the data lake? I heard the term data lake in my perfect French earlier today. How do we manage the data lake? What's our kind of strategy to managing the data? So I think a big challenge for industries or for businesses, traditional businesses, is when they've been used to making products, is how do they build an infrastructure to store and collect and manage data, big volumes of data. That needs data, IT infrastructure, so cloud infrastructure, cloud networks, this type of thing. It also needs people with new skills. So you need data analysts, you need people that can understand how to build platforms and networks and this type of thing. Very different from traditional industry. I think one of the things I heard as well talked about was this acting and working like a startup company. And I think if you're a startup company, you have lots of advantages over being part of a big group of companies. If you're a startup company, you have some money usually, and you have an idea, and you go and try and make that idea work. And you don't have shareholders or managers or anybody telling you can do this or you can't do that. You go and do what you want to do in a good way. And if it works, good. If it doesn't work, well, you go and try another startup idea. Trying to work as a startup business inside a big organisation is quite difficult, but very much needed. You need to think in this startup way. We don't know all the answers at the moment. We just know that there's some improvements we can give to customers, but we don't know how exactly we're going to do it now or what they want now. I think for me, one of the other challenges is kind of a legal framework. So we've talked about IT infrastructure and the need for collecting data and storing data, but there's also a way that in terms of risk profile and how you manage data compared to supplying a product with a warranty that lasts for 2 years. And if something goes wrong with the product in 2 years, you mend it, you repair it, or you supply a new product. When you're supplying database solutions, again, from a product supplier point of view, that's a very different situation. Is how do you think about risk and managing the services and the data that you're providing? So you can see there's lots of things that we're thinking about now. So it's not just as simple as having products that collect data. It really is a change to the business model overall that we're talking about. And so, I guess, to bring us to the end, this is where we are now. We're starting to develop what we've called this kind of cloud service. So as I mentioned, we have lots of sites. We supply to projects, to ports and harbours all around the world. And on all these projects and all these places are already collecting data. And so now what we're looking to do is build this kind of cloud network where we collect the data from each site, and then we store it in a single place, what we call the TMS cloud, and then that allows us to access that data and use that data in a clever way. And so we've got all these ideas of now collecting data. We want to use it in many different ways to provide these kind of global database services to work with our customers. So I think you can see that it's a challenge. We all talk about this digital strategy. We all talk about collecting data and big data, but actually when you try to import it or actually imply it onto a business, there are many, many things that you need to think about in terms of your business model, the skills of the people that you have in the business, and how you're going to deliver this new product or new service to your customers. So hopefully I've kind of given you an overview of how we've tried to, or how we are moving our business from being a very, very traditional engineering business, no marketing, to being kind of now maybe not at the forefront of B2B marketing, but certainly using some of the latest technologies to help us market and reposition our business and give our salespeople. Stopped working. Oh no. Selling skills. And then second phase is really how do we transform our business from being a product supplier into somebody that helps our customers improve their operations. And it's not an easy process, but it's something I think you have to do, because if you don't, all industries will be disrupted. And I think our industry in particular is one that's ready to be disrupted at any time. So unless we're moving quickly, we'll be left behind. So thank you. Again, thank you for listening, and thank you for inviting me.